Hey everyone, so in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to recreate this Bride of Frankenstein look. It's a different take on Bride of Frankenstein. It's a little bit more zombie-ish. So I hope you guys enjoy the tutorial. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like it, and now let's begin. Take a white or nude eyeliner pencil and draw on your main features, so you don't apply the green paint over these areas and end up having to take it off later on, or mixing the green paint in with another paint and then it ends up, looking all muddy. If you draw the features on first, this helps cut down on errors too. I outlined some of the wounds, eyes, and the nose. Then you're going to take your green paint and start painting the skin. I mixed a green and white paint together to create the color for my bride. Make sure you paint any exposed skin green, including your ears and neck. Next, use a green paint that is darker than the all-over skin green color and use that to outline all of the features. This includes the wounds, ripped skin around the mouth and nose. Also use that paint to outline your skull, especially below the cheekbones, to give yourself that bony look. Use the green paint as the eyeshadow color for your eyes. If you don't plan on painting your eyes on and just end up wearing contacts or keeping it all natural with your eyes, just paint the entire lid with that green paint, or you can even apply eyeshadow to that area if you want to. Now go ahead and start painting the stitched up wounds on the Bride of Frankenstein. You want to place a lot around the face, but not too much that it distracts from the other features. Make sure you paint some on your body as well. You want the lines to be mainly thin, but you can make the lines a little bit thicker in some areas to make it look like the wound isn't totally stitched up. You're going to need an even darker green paint than the two you just used. You can mix blacken with your green paint to get your desired color. Use that to paint most of the hollow areas. So you're going to paint inside of your nose, inside of the wound that is on your chest, and then on the outer edges of all the wounds. This will act as the shadows in the wound. I use a black paint to paint on your eyebrows. The Bride of Frankenstein doesn't have an arch, so I painted on a straight brow that got smaller the closer it got toward the outer corner. Use the black paint to outline the eyes, and you want to make sure you bring the paint around the lash line to hide your real lashes. After that, you can start painting on the stitches. For my lips, I painted on the lip shape using the black paint, but I used a black lipstick from NYX to fill it in. My lips are real dried out from painting on myself all month, so I decided to use a lipstick here. You could use face paint if you want though. Use the black paint to define the wounds. You don't apply the paint all along the wound, just to the outer edges of most of the wounds. I mean, you play it by eyesight, if that makes sense. So when you apply it to the outer edges of the wound and not all around the wound, it makes the wound look even more deeper, if that makes sense. And it looks cool. I don't know how to describe it. I suck. For the brain and gums color, I used a pink paint, and then for the inside of the wounds, I used a red paint. To paint the teeth, eyes, and bones, just use a white paint. I mean, you can use a ivory toned paint for the bones, so it looks more realistic. It's up to you, but I went basic with white. While I was using that white paint, I went back with the black paint and used it to define the teeth by outlining them and defining the bone area after I painted it white. I also used the black paint to paint on the little brain designs that are on the brain, basically making it look like ground beef, because that's what brain kind of looks like to me, like ground beef. Not totally, but yeah, kind of, sort of. You could put a little bit of that black paint on top of the wounds, the red areas, just kind of pounce your brush on top of it to add a little bit more texture to that area, and then use the black paint, to add some holes on your body. There's a lot of things you could do with the black paint. So yeah, I just kept going back between the black paint and the white paint. And while I had that white paint out, I mixed a little bit of it with the green to create a very light green color I used to paint the inside of the mouth. And then I used the white paint to highlight. You want to highlight around the stitches, the brain, wounds, and especially the skin. Apply the paint down the bridge of your nose, onto your cheekbones, chin, and forehead. When you apply the paint, mix it into the paint that is already onto the skin. This will help dilute the paint so it's not so strong in color. This is a very important step to this look. It's what adds a lot of different tones to the skin. So when somebody like stares at it, it's not just here's green paint, here's black paint, here's red paint. It's like, oh, look at all the different tones of green in that look and all the different tones of red in that look. And that's what the highlighting helps create. Use a black eyeshadow to shade the look. You want to shade around the teeth, cheekbones, randomly around the skin, and the wounds. Again, just like highlighting, it's very important to this look. It's what makes the look more defined and adds a lot of depth to the wounds. I added some saliva to the inside of the mouth with a yellow paint. You could barely see it, but in person it looks real cool with the saliva there. Again, that actually adds a lot of depth to the mouth. For the hair, I used my white paint to paint white streaks. You're better off using temporary hairspray to do this on Halloween or buy a wig. You could use the face paint like I did, but the thing is it makes your hair look really stiff. So if it's in a ponytail, it's okay. It's not going to do anything to your hair. It's not going to make it fall out or anything like that. It just doesn't look as nice as buying a wig or applying white hair extensions. So that's it for the tutorial. Halloween is approaching, you guys. It's on Saturday. Woo! So anyways, let me know in the comments below what some of you like your favorite tutorials were this year by other YouTubers. I like to learn about other channels and, see some of your favorite looks. So let me know, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye.